Hey, it's been a while, huh? While I was hibernating on this channel, quite a bit has happened, to say the least. Let me give you some context. So, if you didn't already know, there's been a recent surge of AI-related content. Or, well, not that recently, but close enough. There was also the screenwriter strike in 2023, which was basically about AI replacing the jobs of writers. And then we get the whole Disney's Wish debacle, which I don't think I need to explain. And now, ChatGPT apparently has better storytelling capabilities? Of course, this isn't everything that's happened, but it's everything that's important right now. All of this really got me thinking about the big deal with the difference between AI writing and human writing. Like, can a robot actually replace human creativity? Could you even tell the difference between the two? Heck, I'll take it a step further. Could I write better than AI? If you didn't know, I've always loved writing. Usually short stories, but I've tried other formats. I have gotten a few accolades regarding writing, though they honestly aren't that big of a deal. And some say that I'm a good writer and they like my writing style. Not sure if it's true, but eh. Personally, I think I'm a bit better than the average writer, but still overall mediocre. Nothing special, really. But come on, it can't be that hard to beat a machine that just ingests ones and zeros and spits back some garbled content. Surely it can't be that hard. So today, I'm going head-to-head with AI in an effort to boost my self-esteem. Prove that human creativity can't be replaced by a machine. Well, not yet. Can you recognize a story written by an AI? Can you tell the difference between human and AI writing? Who actually writes better? Me or the AI? Well, let's find out, shall we?
Okay, so first I'm gonna just name the document really quick. Me versus AI story. Okay, so the way this is gonna work is that I'm gonna be
Past me kind of sucks at explaining this, and I just kind of suck at explaining things in general, but this is the best you're gonna get. So the way this is going to work is that I'll be writing a 2 to 3 page story, because I can't write 1-page stories, based on a prompt generated by one of these 3 prompt generators. They each have slightly different ways of generating said prompts, but it shouldn't make much of a difference. After a prompt has been chosen, I'll be going first and writing a short story. The reason why I'm going first and not the AI is because I don't want to accidentally steal ideas from the AI story when writing mine. And the AI can't see what I'm writing anyway. Well, I think it can't see what I've written, so that should be fine. After finishing my story, I'll input the prompt for the AI, in this case ChatGPT, and then just let it do its thing, I guess. I'll paste the story into the document, do some minor formatting things, and then we'll repeat this a few times. By the end, we'll have 3 prompts, each with 2 different versions, mine and the AI's. There'll be a total of 6 stories when this is done. Afterwards, we'll get some people to actually read these stories, and then we'll finally have some answers to our questions. Alright, let's start generating a prompt. After I'm done taking a ridiculously long time formatting the document. Oh.
so yeah, let's generate. Let's see. A magical creature visits a young girl in her backyard and enlists her help to save. I think I could start this beginning, honestly. Alright, so first let me think about this. Yeah, I really, okay. Oh, wait.
Oh hey, that's right, Google now has an AI. What a fitting video to find out. AI's literally gonna take over the world one day. Oh my god.
Oh, I should do magical. Oh, let's do Ico. I like Ico, not armor. I love how I just click armor and I'm just like, actually, let's do this other thing. Ico is nice.
So yeah, I wrote the story. Okay, I'm playing some footage of me actually writing the story. I'm just gonna let it kind of run in the background while I talk. I ended up really liking how this story turned out. I think it kind of wraps up my writing style in a nutshell. I think it's probably my favorite story that I wrote in this little session. It's not a full story, it's kind of just like an excerpt of a full story. Like, it kind of leaves off a cliffhanger, you could say. If it was a full story, it would obviously be a lot longer than 2 to 3 pages, but I honestly think that I just like it better. But I like it better anyway, it's just a short section. I don't know, I just really like this story overall, and I don't know what else to say. Oh hey, look, I'm finally done. Now let's see what this non-sentient mechanical being comes up with.
Yay. Okay, this is kind of long, but honestly, it's a lot better than I thought the AI would write. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't show it much in this clip, but when I was first skimming through GPT's story, I legitimately got scared because it was just a lot better than what I was expecting. I thought it was either gonna just write like a 2 to 3 page summary of an already existing series or write some ridiculously simple thing that isn't even fit for a bedtime story. You know, the ones that go, once upon a time there was a character named Bob. He died. The end. Like, okay, this is way better than what my expectations were, which were, granted, extremely low. I'm already kind of spiraling, and this is only the first prompt. That isn't good. How about we just ignore that and move on to the next prompt?
Alright, so there's that generator. Alright, let's try this thing, which I might have to generate this a few times because it's very random. Secret Life of a Bigoted. What is... I've heard this. Oh, okay. Axe of the Clown on a date, but... Oh, this is interesting. So I'll try to copy this.
This was a pain to copy and paste, but I finally got it done. And so, after a bit of brainstorming...
I don't know what they mean by secret life. I guess this guy, I'm gonna make this guy like a regular office worker. Let's call him Brian. Honestly, Brian, like, come on.
I started writing the story. Okay, this story is a little weird. It's in first person this time. The last one was in third person. It's in a much more informal tone. I think it showcases more of my sense of humor rather than my writing style. Well, I guess. I mean, it kind of does showcase my writing style. It's supposed to be more of a humorous story than something taken seriously. It's very non-traditional. I went really off the rails here. Well, I mean, I followed the prompt, but I just took it in a very different direction, especially than what the AI took it in, which you'll see soon. And yeah, I don't really like this story as much as the other one. This one was okay. I'm not sure what else to say. It's just really weird. Oh hey look, I'm done writing.
Okay, so I didn't really know how to end this. It's not the best ending, but whatever. That should throw them off a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this thing. So, okay, so this time I'm gonna have them write an excerpt.
So the reason I wanted the AI to write an excerpt is because most of the time the short stories that I write are more like excerpts or previews and often end on a cliffhanger. I pretty much just didn't want it to be too obvious which one was which, like the AI always writing the full story while I never finish any of mine. But ChatGPT for some reason just couldn't write a story excerpt, but you know, I decided that's fine, I'll just have it write an excerpt next time. Okay, so me and ChatGPT decided to take things in very different directions, like I kind of hinted at earlier. I think Past Me actually explains the way my story went pretty well.
I decided to make like this guy with this kind of like giant ego.
Meanwhile, the AI decided to go for a more standard approach, where the narrator actually just misjudges the intentions and morals of the main character. It's certainly a more on-the-rails approach and more in line with the prompt. I was actually considering going in this direction when brainstorming ideas for how the narrator gets the details wrong, but I decided that I just want to be unique! And I like how my version turned out anyway. So for this next prompt generator, which I just noticed right now apparently uses AI, you have to choose a genre and then it'll spit out some prompts within that genre. And me being mildly indecisive, I decided it was a great idea to put all the genres in a wheel. But then I noticed that there's kind of a lot, so I ended up only putting a few and conveniently leaving out the AI related ones.
Oh my god, okay, I love dystopian stories. Okay, that's actually good, because I like writing dystopian stories.
Yes, okay, I'm actually kind of good in this category. Dystopian stories are among my favorite types of books to read and types of stories to write, so this should be good. I was pretty much thinking that I need to get the upper hand on that green flower thing that can now tell dad jokes? But alright, at this point I felt like ChatGPT and I were kind of in a tie, so I really had to up my game if I wanted to prove my self-worth. I mean, if I wanted to prove that I can write better than this hunk of metal that communicates using pixels. Imagine. So after choosing a prompt, I got to work writing. I feel like one of my strengths is developing on characters and their personalities more, so that's what I tried to do in this story. I honestly think it's not too bad. It's pretty dramatic, and like I said with the first prompt, I feel like it would be like an excerpt for a book or something. It's not completely finished. It's not a full story. The character itself, the main character, his motives are kind of a little confusing. I don't really know. I think my story has a lot more has a lot more like world building rather than action. It's really just fully fleshing out the world, explaining the situation, and kind of explaining the character a little more. I like it better than the second prompt story, which was the weird one. And yeah. After finishing my story, I inputted the prompt to ChatGPT and skimmed through the story it generated. But no matter how hard I tried, I just could not get it to write only an excerpt of the story instead of the full thing. If you'll remember, I tried to get it to do this for the second prompt, but kind of forgot about it, I guess, afterwards. But this time, I was going to get it to not generate an entire full-blown book. I, kind of failed, though. I got it a little better by the end, but it just did not want to listen for some reason. I finally stopped when the site actually forced me to stop, and in the end, I had to cut out a little bit of the end manually, just to leave things off on a cliffhanger and hopefully balance things out. Alright, now that we have the stories written, I've got to get other people to actually read them, which means having friends. Or a sister. So I basically have my sister here. Whee! Here's how this is going to work. To prevent any anti-AI biases from forming beforehand, I'm going to tell my sister that I wrote all these stories, and have her read all of them. Then I'll slowly reveal to her the truth and see how she reacts. But first, I've got to somehow convince my sister that I managed to write a full 18 pages within the span of only a couple hours. Let's just hope that she doesn't catch on or think anything suspicious.
Why is there two versions?
Oh gosh, she already knows, doesn't she? Before you read this one, what do you think of that story?
It's kind of long and
Okay,
too many description words for me
Okay.
to read.
Okay.
And there's like bunch of confusing words.
So
I
rate
still
it
don't
just
know
on
it.
like a scale of 1 to 10. Just first thoughts.
6.
Okay, so it's a 6.
Are you sure you wrote these? You don't even know how to pronounce the name.
Yeah, because I searched it up. I was like, good names for things. The last thing she remembered was being engulfed by darkness.
So there's no defeat the magic sorceress. My star.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really pointed out he's a stalker there. Okay, next story.
Okay, so what did you think of it first?
Dude needs some better skills. Honestly, he has a skill issue. He has a very big skill issue.
Okay. So, the scale of 1 to 10. I didn't ask you this for the last one, but like, just what do you think?
7 because we love how he's a stalker.
Okay. All right.
He's saying he's an investigator.
Okay. Sorry, what did you think of this one?
At least the dude wasn't a stalker. I mean, like,
Okay, so just which one?
just
do you
because
like
he
better?
wasn't a stalker, I give you a 7.5 out of 10.
Wait, really? So you like this one better?
No.
Okay, no.
Just because the dude's not a stalker and because there's a Fiona in it.
Okay, but like seriously,
There's
which
a
one do you like
Fiona
better?
in it.
Version 1 or version 2?
I like version 2 because he's a stalker. But like,
Wait, version 2 is this one.
I mean version 1.
Okay. So what do you think of it? Out of 10?
8 because it's wholesome.
Okay, it's wholesome. All right.
I'm just low. I know how I'm going up slightly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What? Come on.
Probably the first one.
Okay.
Because he actually saves how. This one we don't know if they actually do it.
Now that she's finally done reading the stories, which took an entire 45 minutes, let's reveal to her what's actually been going on. Okay, so you remember when you said that one? I just told you about this thing where I have one prompt written by AI and one. Yeah. So that's the. Yeah. One of each version is written by AI. So, like, in each prompt, I wrote one, and then the AI wrote one. Before I tell you, I just want you to, like, just say which one do you think is written by AI.
I feel like this one is
first.
written by AI.
Okay, the first one?
Yeah. I feel like the AI would think of a young girl being really joyful, so, like...
Okay. And then, this one?
I feel like the other one, because this
The
one's
second
like
one?
stalker.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah. Alright, okay, this one? Which one?
No, this one I can't tell.
Okay.
But I feel like version 1.
Okay, so I'm not sure how much this reaction counts, because my sister later said that she actually knew the entire time that something was up. But that's okay, because I've managed to drag one of my friends to also take a look at these stories. Unlike my sister, I've given her as little information as possible so that she doesn't get suspicious and think that maybe I didn't actually write all these stories.
How many pages? 17!
Okay, okay, each story is only like 2 or 3 pages long. It's not that bad.
What?
I think she genuinely thinks that I wrote these stories. Yeah, she can't hear me right now, but I'll see if she thinks that anything is weird about this first one, because the first one is AI, but yeah.
Okay, done.
So, what did you think?
Since it's like just a small prompt, I understand why it's like fast pacing. But like some parts were very like stretched out while others were very rushed.
Okay.
I think it's a good concept though. But yeah. You could have just sent me like the link of it and I read it and then I could just recorded my reaction to it.
But the thing is, that's not the end of this recording.
Oh.
Okay. I mean, okay, the first part is having you read it, which is the longest part, and then like another 5 minutes is me. Well, it's something else.
Interviewing me? Are you gonna interview me?
It'll make more sense. I'm trying to be very vague because I wasn't I did this like recording thing with my sister, this like same thing, and then I think I spoke too much, and then she just like knew the entire time something was up.
Okay. I like the character, the main character in this one a lot more, and the pacing. It's very descriptive, much more descriptive than the other one.
Really?
Which isn't bad, which isn't bad.
Sorry.
But there is like, if it still went on, that would be good, but I like where you ended it right there. But yeah, the character in version 1 is all goody two-shoes. And
yeah, she kind of is.
Version 2, there's some negative aspects to the characters in this one other than
she's like more realistic in terms of being
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting to hear.
More humanized.
Humanized is crazy. Isn't Eden like a place from the Bible or something?
I wouldn't know that.
Oh yeah, the Garden of Eden.
Yippee! I like that one. I really like that one. I have no real comments on that one, but I really like that one, and I really like the characters.
Okay.
I like that one. It's very The Giver.
So one of them is the Hunger Games, the other one is the Giver.
Yeah. But I really like that one.
Which one would you say is better, just those two?
Version 2.
Okay. What if I told you, I didn't actually write all these stories?
It better not be AI, because if you're AI, I would have.
Well, I read some of them, but not all of them.
If AI did this, I'm gonna explode.
Which version do you think is AI generated?
Oh wait, one of them you wrote, and the other one's AI.
Yeah, and like, it's not in the same order for each one.
Wait, hold on. I'm
could
fighting
you-
battles right now. I think, from the way it's written, I think version 1's AI generated.
Okay.
Prompt 2. I think version 1's also AI generated.
Okay.
Okay, so my thoughts are there are very two distinct writing styles in here.
Mm.
And the thing is, I can't tell which one's yours.
Hello, Editor Cora here. This is already getting kind of long, and I just want to quickly sum up what happens next. Basically, she was very indecisive. She didn't know what to pick. She eventually went with version 1, but then at the last second changed her answer to version 2. So I don't know whether to count that or not. I'm just gonna give her half a point. Okay, but that's only 2 people. If I really want to figure out answers to these questions, I gotta either make more friends or ask random strangers on the internet. And come on, there's only one obvious option here. So basically what I'm going to do is make a web page on a children's coding site, because that's the closest thing to social media I have, and ask for people to share what they think, and then pray that people actually care enough to play along. You know, I actually recorded footage of making the design for this page, which I'll show in the background here. Okay, yeah, I think that's enough. I don't actually have to show all this because of this magic witchcraft called editing! And boom, everything's already done. Okay, so only a few people commented and actually bothered to share what they thought of the stories, but a few of them are kind of long, so I'm just gonna sum them up as best as I can. I'll also keep track of whether each person could tell that some stories were AI written and whose was better in the end. This person said that my stories are good. I mean, not really, but thanks. And noted that the AI just tended to write details and long sentences with basic dialogue, while my writing had shorter and more dramatic sentences. She also mentioned that my stories had a better start, while the AI is just setting the scene. It was easy to tell because I wrote shorter paragraphs. Oh my god. Yeah, I take a long time to develop plot and characters, but I have trouble actually writing longer sections. If I do, it's usually just me rambling on and on about random, unimportant details. This thread is just a roast battle. Okay, so this one was an interesting reaction to read, mainly because this guy preferred all the AI stories over mine, which is just great. He also wrote this, which is also just amazing. There goes my self-esteem. To his credit, he does mention that the types of things I write probably aren't the types of things that he likes to read, which I do respect. Also, apparently my intros are better. He skimmed through it and could tell which ones were AI and which ones weren't. This one was pretty simple, there's nothing more to say. I'll give a point to both here, I guess. So this one is kind of long. Basically, upon first read, she liked the second version of the first prompt, a tie for the second prompt, and the second version of the third prompt. She did actually know that they were AI and guessed all of them right. She also points out that the AI writing seemed kind of flat, while mine was more dramatic. I think I pretty obviously got the point here. So before we draw conclusions about everything, I just want to quickly share my thoughts on the AI's writing versus mine. Okay, so basically this is what I thought. For the first prompt, I like my version better. For the second prompt, I liked my version too. The third prompt was a tie, but honestly the AI's was probably better. I definitely mentioned, I made a kind of a big deal out of this earlier, but I just couldn't get the AI to end on a cliffhanger and not write the full story, which that was kind of annoying, but I don't think it really impacted the results that much. Well, I guess kind of, because some people I asked, they said that if the full story was shown, then they would have definitely picked that one, which is something to keep in mind for the future. Another thing I want to point out is that I use italics. The AI does not include any extra formatting. I don't know, I just copy and pasted it from ChatGPT, so maybe it included italics, but I didn't see any, so yeah. My stories are typically more character-based, and I take a while to fully flesh out everything, and my characters do usually have more of a personality, I guess you could say. I feel like the AI just gives some like fluff details that don't really do much and just kind of tells the story. I try to be creative with the prompt interpretation, just like the second version, which I called it weird, and a lot of people did find it really weird, and it wasn't for them, but yeah, so I try to be creative with the prompt. The AI just kind of follows it directly, just kind of takes it where it's supposed to go, and also, this is kind of a follow-up to the other thing I said earlier about the AI not ending on a cliffhanger. I think it's because they're able to write full stories because they're kind of a robot, you know? And yeah, they can kind of just like calculate how long the beginning and exposition will be and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I'm just kind of like having a harder time fitting a story within a set amount of space and stuff because I just have a hard time. If you couldn't tell, I'm more negatively biased towards AI. I mean, I just personally feel like the level that AI right now is at, it's hard to come up with a truly creative and original idea. Right now it's just mashups of a bunch of different ideas, but who knows. Maybe enough mashups will create something that gives the illusion of originality, and maybe that's just what the people want these days. I don't know, I'm just rambling at this point. So, what did we learn today? Well, the majority of people that read the stories knew that something was off and were not actually surprised when it was revealed that AI wrote some of the stories, so I'd say that yes, people could actually recognize AI written stories. As for us telling the stories apart, it varies from person to person, but the majority of people did guess right. I think this question just really depends how well you know the writer and their writing style, if nothing else. But okay, that's all fine and dandy, but we still didn't answer the original question. Can I write better than AI? Well, that's up to you. See, I didn't actually get a lot of people to read these, obviously, and don't feel like drawing a conclusion for this just yet. In the description below, I've attached some links to the stories if you want to try reading these for yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments, and maybe then we'll finally find out the answer to this question. But, until then, I think that's pretty much it. Hello, I guess we're doing this outro thing again. Sorry for not posting in a while. I think it's becoming kind of like a tradition now for me to say that, but I probably won't post for another long time if I'm being honest, just because it's almost the end of the summer for me and I won't have time to do this type of stuff during school. But anyway, comment down what you thought about this video. I had a lot of fun making it. In addition to the links to the stories in the description, I also put links to the prompt generators I used in this video, if you're interested in that type of stuff. This video was just a lot of fun to make. It was also a lot of work though, so shout out to everybody who was featured in this video. Thank you for just participating, I guess. If you're watching this, that means I managed to finish editing this entire video in like a week, which is crazy because if you don't know, I'm kind of like a slower editor. A minute of a video takes me like about an hour to edit. It's a lot, but yeah. I had to cut out a lot of footage for this video. There's a total of like 6 hours with everything. And let me know if you want a behind the scenes video because I think that would just be really fun to put together too. If you're still watching, then just subscribe, I guess, because you're still watching. You obviously like this type of content, so yeah. And also subscribing keeps me motivated to make more things like this and lets me know what type of things you like anyway, so yeah, it's just a win-win. If you didn't know, I started like an ARG-like thing. I think that's kind of a generous term for it, but yeah, I started that thing a few months ago. I just included a little bonus at the end for those of you who are following that. It'll be after this music, but yeah, just once again, thank you. If you really like this video, please subscribe, like, comment, do all that usual stuff, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one, I guess, whenever that is. Bye!